Dragon hatchlings kept escaping the royal nursery, always found sleeping in the human janitor's lap. The Draconith Empire stretched across 12 star systems, its crystalline spires gleaming under twin suns, its people proud and ancient. For millennia they had ruled with wisdom born of fire and scale, their dragon forms both terrifying and magnificent. But in all their long history they had never encountered a problem quite like this one. Again? Highkeeper Zeltharis hissed, her iridescent scales shimmering with frustration as she surveyed the empty nursery pods. 3 more hatchlings had vanished in the night, slipping through security systems that could detect a single molecule out of place. Her assistant, a younger Draconith named Korvax, lowered his massive head in embarrassment. Yes, Highkeeper, the same as before. Zeltharis knew exactly where they would find the hatchlings. She had known for weeks now, though the knowledge brought her no comfort, only confusion that bordered on insult. They found them in sub-level 7, in the maintenance sector where the human cleaning staff worked. Lewis, the night shift janitor, sat cross-legged on the floor, his back against a humming air filtration unit. 3 dragon hatchlings, each the size of a large dog with scales that glittered gold and emerald, were curled in his lap, their serpentine bodies draped over his legs and arms. Their chest plates rose and fell with the deep rhythm of contented sleep. A soft rumbling purr emanated from all 3. Lewis looked up as Zeltharis approached, his brown eyes tired but unapologetic. "Morning, Highkeeper," he said quietly, careful not to disturb the sleeping hatchlings. "This is the 4th time this week, human," Zeltharis said, her voice sharp despite her attempt at control. "We have the finest nursery in the Empire, temperature-controlled environments, specialized nutrition, round-the-clock care from trained specialists. Yet our hatchlings continuously escape to sleep with you." Lewis shrugged, a gesture the Draconith had learned meant uncertainty or indifference. "I don't call them, ma'am. They just show up." Besides Zeltharis, Korvax made a sound of disgust. Perhaps the human emits some chemical that attracts them, or uses technology we haven't detected. "I've been scanned 12 times, Lewis replied, his tone patient. Nothing but a human with a mop bucket. It was true. They had tested him for pheromones, neural manipulators, even illegal bonding technology. Lewis was exactly what he appeared to be, a 23-year-old human from Earth, working a janitorial contract to pay off student loans, utterly unremarkable in every measurable way. Except the hatchlings loved him. As if to emphasize the point, one of the hatchlings, Princess Azara, daughter of the Emperor himself, yawned, revealing rows of needle-sharp teeth. She nuzzled deeper into Lewis's chest, her tail wrapping around his arm possessively. "She's never done that with me," Zeltharis admitted quietly, something breaking in her voice. "I've raised hatchlings for 200 years, and not one has ever sought my comfort like that." "Maybe that's the problem," said a new voice. Everyone turned. Orla, the human maintenance supervisor, stood in the doorway with her arms crossed. She was older than Lewis, perhaps 30, with red hair pulled back in a practical ponytail and the kind of no-nonsense expression that transcended species. "Excuse me?" Zeltharis's crest flared with indignation. Orla stepped forward, unintimidated. "Your nursery is perfect. That's what's wrong with it. Temperature-controlled, sterile, monitored. It's a laboratory, not a home. We provide everything they need, everything but what they want," Orla interrupted. She gestured at Lewis. "He's warm, but not regulated. He's soft in some places, bony in others. His heartbeat is irregular, his breathing changes. He smells like cleaning chemicals and coffee and whatever he had for dinner. He's messy and imperfect and alive." Zeltharis stared at the human female, something cold settling in her chest. "Are you suggesting that our childcare methods are insufficient?" "I'm suggesting they're lonely," Orla said simply. "Look at him." They looked. Lewis had shifted slightly, adjusting his position so one of the hatchlings, Prince Korath, could rest more comfortably. His hand moved in slow circles over Azara's scales, an absent gesture that was somehow perfectly soothing. He was exhausted, his janitorial uniform stained and wrinkled, but his expression held infinite patience. "He's not doing anything special," Orla continued. "He's just present, actually present, not performing a function. When's the last time you held them without monitoring their vital signs? When's the last time you just sat with them?" The silence stretched long and uncomfortable. Finally, Zeltharis lowered herself to the floor, an undignified position for a high keeper. but something in her chest demanded it. She moved slowly toward the sleeping hatchlings, and to her shock, young Korath raised his head, blinking sleepily. His golden eyes focused on her. "May I?" she asked Lewis. The human nodded and carefully extracted himself, transferring the hatchlings one by one. They fussed at the movement, but settled as Zeltaris gathered them close, feeling their warmth against her scales for the first time in weeks. Really feeling it, not just monitoring it. Azara made a small chirping sound and pressed her snout against Zeltaris's chest plate, right over where her heart thrummed. "Oh," Zeltaris whispered. The word contained universes. Lewis stood, stretching his stiff legs, while Orla handed him his mop bucket. They moved to leave, but Zeltharis called out, "Human, Lewis, and Orla." They paused. Would you consider consulting on our childcare protocols? Paid position, of course." Lewis and Orla exchanged glances. "One condition," Orla said. "Less monitoring, more holding." Zeltharis looked down at the 3 hatchlings now purring against her, their trust absolute and unearned and precious beyond measure. She thought of her perfectly designed nursery, her centuries of expertise, her pride in her methods. Then she felt Azara's tiny heartbeat against her scales. "Agreed," she said. As the humans left, Korvax approached hesitantly. "High Keeper, what did we learn from them?" Zeltaris was quiet for a long moment, her eyes on the sleeping hatchlings. "That sometimes," she said finally, "the most advanced civilization can forget the simplest truth. Children don't need perfection. They just need someone who stays."